think the good thing is that meme coin is not really something that is like completely brand new, right? It's just an evolution of something. So how I see meme coin is like how we decentralize, it's just culture, right? So say if a brand wants to build culture, say for example Air Jordans or want to do a release for their sneakers, right? People trade their sneakers as well. It's just tangible, harder to access, harder to get, but people still trade them. Similarly for meme coins, it's just a digital version of that collectible and it's culture, right? So I think meme coin, the opportunity is a good thing for me is because now people can now, you as a collector, you as a supporter of a movement, for example, you can now benefit from that value and that culture upgrade, that value created from that culture being more prominent and growing across the world. You can now benefit from that. So I think in terms of pros, I'm highly pro meme coin just because it's just a different version of what culture looks like, and now you can be part of it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe like to add context. So you work at Circle. Circle is very heavily regulated, very transparent in that way. How many circulation total for USDC right now?
Right now, I think hitting 35 billion. I think we've been 33 to 35, hitting all the way.
Okay, so that's a lot amount of money. I think USDC is probably one of the most well-adapted token within the whole ecosystem. But can you imagine USDC or Circle working together with some of the meme coin communities like Bonk or Whiff or Doji or the Dogcat tokens?
I can't speak on Circle, that one you have to ask my CEO.
This is off the record?
Yeah, no, I'm just a personal opinion, but I mean, even if we want or don't work with meme coins, we all have our different place in the ecosystem, right? All the meme coin holders, when you want to exit to a like a stable form of liquidity, you still come back to stable coins, right? You don't hold your asset in meme coins and then trade between meme coins. You always come back to a base, right? Organically, they are going to be working with us regardless. But whether or not official term, I'm not sure. I don't really have to. That one, personally, I don't have an opinion. I'm not sure about the roadmap as well.
All right, thank you. So Ian basically mentioned that meme coin is just essentially a tool. So I guess, as you said, meme coin is taking too much attention for the serious developers. Do you have any comments on how you can actually mitigate or move that attention from these developers so that they can actually build something that is more serious?
Well, I think it's pretty hard to let people, going away from that profit, like quick profit. Because if I'm telling you guys now that, okay, today I'm gonna give you $100, comparing to next year I'm gonna give you $1,000, then who's gonna take 100 today or who's gonna take 1,000 next year? Then I don't know, and I think most of the people are gonna take $100 today, because next year is too far, and there's volatile market and nobody knows what gonna happen. So I think that's the same mentality with people who say that, okay, if I can make some quick buck today, then why shouldn't I? Why should I spend 1 year or a few months to building something that in this competitive market, it is so hard to compete, to build something that can take a considerable market share, because building something serious is difficult. Let's be honest about that. It's hard, and if I can just make some quick buck today, then that's gonna be something that people are gonna take, or at least the majority of people are gonna take. So I think it is a hard problem, and also when talking about meme coins, I think there are this kind of meme coin and that kind of meme coin. So if you are talking about like Bonk or some legendary projects like that, I don't really think that we can categorize them in the same category with something that coming out from Bundle Fund or something like that, because they evolve so much that I think.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're saying that there are tiers of these meme coins, where I'm guessing that Bonk is probably considered as like one of the blue chips. And
absolutely. Okay, what is the difference between, okay, this is a white tech, but then what's the difference between Bonk and Bitcoin? They are what is the use case of Bitcoin? You know, the only thing that it does is the scarcity, right? So I don't know. I can totally say that Bonk is not really a meme coin. It's a very serious project.
Okay, so in that sense, you're more saying that you kind of accept Bonk as like accredited or like well-deserved tokens out there in the ecosystem.
Yeah, I love Nom. I don't know when it's yeah.
No, I didn't get Nom. Okay. But like Bonk started and it's probably like less than 2 years old. When do you think Bonk, achieved that phase to be considered as like bullshit? Like if I was a meme coin creator, like what are some of the steps or criteria that are need to be achieved to be considered as like what blue chips?
I think the influence of the projects to the community, this is something definitely can be considered. When we're talking about meme coins, I'm really thinking of all the projects that are coming out from like in the recent few months, where it took them so less effort to issue a token. Actually, maybe not few minutes, and then they just leave it there, and then they rely completely on the community, and maybe they just share it on Twitter or on X, and then after about very short time they just exit it and just leave it there. There are like millions of tokens like that, and I really think that those kind of coins are distractions to the builder. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that's fair. I think we're in the middle of 15 minutes now, so you were against and you were for. Let's switch that up. No, you're the biggest meme coin supporter, and no, you're the anti-meme coin who only wants to push stable coin on Solana. If that's the case, so maybe you want to speak up, like how, like if you want to shill USDC instead of the Bonk token or WIF token, like how would you convince to the audience? How would you pitch USDC instead of buying Bonk or holding Bonk? This is off the record.
Okay, I don't have to show USDC, but I think the against position is again, like I said, I'm going to use your word, right? Distraction. So I think running a grant program, I've seen probably close to 500 projects already, 500 plus. Quite a few of them apply and they said that they're going to scale their marketing strategy is releasing meme coins, for example, airdropping, all that stuff. I think the same conversations that I have with those projects is that number one, like what is your true purpose of releasing the meme coin, right? Is it to garner a lot of capital and then exit, right? That's one. Or is it for a true blue marketing purpose, right? So in this case, maybe for Bonk, I can't speak for that, but projects like that is that maybe at the start their main goal with the meme coin is to build a community, and then after that figure out what product to build after that. But if you're a project that already have a product and you're looking to use meme coin as a way of marketing, be very, very clear on that. Don't think about like other factors that might be affecting. Don't think about price. Don't think about all that stuff. Think about why you're using meme coin. And I think the main thing about meme coins now is that it's like you said, the degen culture is so strong, which is great. It's very fun. But if you're building a project, you're building a startup that you're going to put your livelihood on and you're really serious about it, it might actually be poison unless you're very, very clear-headed, right? It's not just you, but your team. So why are you releasing meme coin? How do you communicate that reason to your team to motivate them? That's also another thing that you have to consider. So I think it's just a lot of confusion to add on to already a very confusing journey of being a founder. You get hit with so many things, and having meme coins come in and say, you'll be like further distracted. And USDC, I don't have to shield too much. Really, we're just super trusted. But if you're into meme coins and looking at exit liquidity into a stable coin, go with USDC. So.
Would you say that I'm just gonna ask one more. Would you say that the types or characteristics of Circle's USDC grants is much more different compared to the grants program done by some of the meme coin communities like Bonk?
Yeah, so I just had this conversation at the back of the room just now, right? So our grant program really is coming from a perspective of motivating developers to first explore our ecosystem. So you're building with USDC, how do you use stable coins, how do you use our programmable wallets, our smart contract platform, our CCTP in your project. So that is the main thesis and the main mandate of the grant program. But I think for other grant programs, say like Bonk or say even Solana, is looking at ecosystem driving. How do you drive an underswell of builders up, right? How do you get people to build on bird's eye technologies, right? Really is how do you drive that underswell of developers? So I think the way they look at how they evaluate what a good project or not a bad project is to give grants to is very, very different because the end objective is very different.
Awesome. So maybe I have a quick question to you, Ka. Just curious, like I think this whole meme coin craze actually started happening probably end of last year, so that's probably December 2023. How did it like positively affect birdeye? Like I'm sure that there was a lot of differences in terms of users, supporters of birdeye through meme coin, and you probably had a lot of customer user feedbacks. Maybe share some good stories there.
Yeah. So yeah, to be honest, with all of you guys, then meme coins actually became one of the motivation for our developments at birdeye. This is honest. So meme coins is actually a challenge for us as a platform because out of nowhere, our traffic just like 10x, 20x. Just in 1 or 2 days. So it became a very big challenge for us at birdeye because all of our infrastructures have to be upgraded. The servers need to, we're going to need a new servers, and we have to scale up all of our infra, and also people just like requesting new type of data on birdeye. So it was like, it happens very, it was quite difficult for us in January because like there was a flood of people going to birdeye to take a look at all the token price and many analysis. So we did have to take it very seriously and have to upgrade our infrastructure in a very short time. Just in a few days, and we actually crashed the website a few times. So that was a very good problem to have. But then it was a motivation for us to build a very good infrastructure now, because January was the first wave, and then after that there was a couple of other waves as well, and all the one after that we handled it pretty well, because we know that okay, this is getting serious and we have to prepare for all the scenario that can happen, and actually in the recent months, the traffic like coming from Solana especially is actually much more than in January. Even during the peak in January, in last month alone, the traffic is much more. But then we could handle it. So it was a very good upgrade for us. So I think in this sense, meme coins is actually not distracting us from building, but it makes us more focused into keeping our platform become more stable.
Okay. 確かにミームコインが増えてトラフィックが増えたからバックエンドを直そうとかスケールアップさせましょうっていう方はプロジェクトがバーダイ以外にもオルカもそうですし他のプロジェクトもたくさんあったので、そういう意味ではインフラの精度がより高くなったというのでエコシステムにとっても貢献したのかなというのは僕も感じますね。I'm sorry, it's just me that. Okay, we only have like 7 minutes left, so I'll just have this as the last topic. So unfortunately they're not here today, but I think one of the main drivers of this meme coin craze on Solana came from one project called Pumped Up Fun. And I don't know how many people know. How many people know Pumped Up Fun? Okay, Pumped Up Fun を知ってる人いますかね。10割ぐらい。So Pumped Up Fun probably created how many tokens? I don't know, like probably
millions.
Yeah, probably over millions of meme coins on Solana, and they were the driver of this whole meme coin culture. Do you think, I'm asking both of you guys, do you think Pump.Fund provided positive effects to Solana ecosystem, maybe in short and also in the long term? Like, do you think you can elaborate on these?
Yeah, okay, I can go first in this. So I think, well, the reason why I think not many people actually know about Pump.Fund here is that Pump.Fund is actually, well, even to me in the first few months of Pump.Fund, I didn't even know about them, and I didn't really trade it on them because I think they are very degen, like too degen for somebody like me. But then I think what they did is that they not really interfere with the existing ecosystem, but then they actually open up the whole new category for the meme coin things. I think now they make it very easy for people to tokenize their opinions. So it's like previously, I think the whole crypto space, the opinion is not very recognized in the world. But now, if you have any news in the world, like even the United States elections, or if you have any war in the world, then people are gonna just create meme coins to make their voice. You know, like they want to make people know that they are caring about this problem or the other problem, so they just issue a meme coin for that. So it's like, to me, it's really like they are tokenized their opinion, and they are selling that, and when other people actually buying that one, they actually get to know about their opinion, like whether or not they like this or not. So it is something pretty new to the ecosystem, in my opinion. So they are opening up that whole new things.
Yeah, so I think for Pump.Fund, I think it's not the first, but it's definitely not going to be the last as well in the ecosystem. There's always going to be new things happening. It's going to have the same type of like hype and bring the type of users. Again, whether it's a good or bad thing, it depends on who you are, right? So I think if you're someone who's looking for opportunities to make life-changing money and looking for opportunities to make some value, right? Then just hop on it, right? Just hop on it and just try it out. But if you are building a product for, say, if you look at the people coming into the ecosystem because of Pump.Fund, you need to really understand who these people are and the types of users they are within the space, right? So if you build a project, then now you have this whole new group of customer segment or user segment that you need to consider, right? So I think it's for a builder itself, it's gonna be a lot more challenging because things are moving so fast now and so dynamic. And you mentioned like them actually creating tokens because of special news, right? I love that whole mechanic, because now you can create a movement and really be behind it, like with your skin in the game, and you are physically now motivated, right? Because a lot of times we want to support movements, but it actually takes away from us, takes our time, take our money away. But now you can back an initiative, be part of it, and as it grows, you can also benefit from it. I think it's like super aligned. So I think that's the good part. I love to see like how it evolves in the long term. But with the people who are in it to kind of like take money out, you always have people like in terms of that. I want to see like the detracting part, because I really like the movement, putting yourself and like really tangibly be part of that culture. Like I said, then I think that one is very exciting.
Okay, I think one issue with the meme coins or these meme coin platforms is that there is a lot of rug that happens that basically brings a lot of financial losses to supporters who wanted to do it for good causes. Do you think if like platforms like birdeye, Orca, Ethereum, or like these like liquidity venues, if they decide to create like an anti-bot or anti-rug systems or features, do you think that view will change, or do you think it's going to be much more healthier, or do you think it's kind of like, like chasing the rats and like, like not being able to solve the fundamental issue?
Yeah, I think like the things with like all this like surveillance or like data, right? I think that's very important. That's gonna make it much safer for people. But the more we try to introduce things in place, the more shadows it will create, right? So you will always be, like you say, chasing the rats around. So fundamentally is the people entering this have to understand the risk and don't put your house on it and then cry after, right? Because it doesn't work like that. I think what could be an evolution is fundamentally, would there be a separate type of mechanism that is a little bit more mature, a little bit more controlled, but drawing the people who really want to support the initiatives, and not like in a generic like pump dot fund, but something that is more controlled. And of course, like with the more information, which is what you guys are doing, then that's going to help with the ecosystem. But as of now, just by doing it, I don't think it's going to help too much. It's going to take a lot of your time. But then there should be like a new version of it that's probably more focused in that use case.
So I think that is almost 30 minutes. So 今日今話した話は not financial advice なので忘れていただければと思います。So that's the end of the discussion. Thank you for listening.